Hey, good afternoon, class. I hope you had a good day. I would like to start by congratulating all of you that were at rehearsal earlier today for making honor roll. Very proud of you. I was very impressed with the number of people that were in sixth grade that made honor roll. So, like everyone, give yourselves a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. At the end of next semester, I hope that all of you are invited to that. So let's do our best to be who we can be, right? All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at interactions of our spheres. Therefore, we're going to go up and we're going to be looking at the Earth's spheres. So could somebody please, when we were going through this, could somebody please tell me something that you know about the Earth's spheres? Somebody tell me what they know. Ava, would you please?
I know about the spheres, about the water.
Okay.
Water and
Okay, and what is it?
hydrogen.
Absolutely, hydrosphere. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Now, speaking of spheres, we're going to be talking about interactions. Remember, you got your exit ticket today, and if you look over this, it's going to ask you what you learned today. But then it's going to say, give one example of you interacting with the geosphere today. So think about that as we go through interactions between the different spheres. Also, when you hear a word that you learned and you know the meaning of it now, you'll be writing that down as well. And then you'll write how you feel today, how you think everything is going. All right. So somebody else tell me what you want to know. What would you like to know? Someone. Tell me something you would like to know about the spheres.
I want to know what the spheres like, how you can interact with them.
How you can interact with them. Very good. Yes, very good. Now we'll come back to this later as far as what we did learn, but we'll go back to that. So next. This will work. Wonderful. Always have a technical difficulty, huh? Okay, Earth spheres. Sorry for the delay. Earth spheres. Everything on the Earth can be placed into one of four major systems. It'll be placed in water, living, the earth, land, and the air. Those four spheres are called what? Can somebody give me one of the spheres? Yes, ma'am. Biosphere. What does biosphere mean? Living things. Need you make sure you speak up. Give me another one. Hydrosphere. And what is a hydrosphere? Water. Outstanding. Somebody else give me another one. Atmosphere. And atmosphere is what? The air around the earth. And last? Geosphere is? Absolutely. The minerals, the rocks, the non-living things that are on the earth. Outstanding. So hydrosphere comes from the word hydro, which that root word is Greek. It means water. We have the biosphere, bio being Greek for life. Geo is Greek for the earth or for the ground. Atmo is Greek for the atmosphere, okay, for the air. So now let's look at these word parts. Sphere. A sphere is what? What would you describe a sphere as? You describe it as a system. Could somebody give me the definition of a system? That was part of your textbook. What is a system? It's a group of, someone take a guess. Go ahead. Group of parts. Yes, group of parts working together is a system. Okay, so you have the different systems here. Hydro being the water, bio being the life, geo the ground, and atmo is The atmosphere. Now, why is it important that we know the root of these words? It helps you to remember. If you know that Greek is bio is Greek for life, then when you see biosphere, it's the life sphere, the air sphere, the ground sphere, the water sphere, or by the Greek names, hydro, bio, geo, and atmo. Now we were talking about observing and what we have here. So we have the four spheres, and we're going to put these over to where they belong. So in this picture, what do we have? What do we have? So what can I move and where? Okay, so I can move the atmosphere up here into the air, because the atmo is Greek for air. Okay, somebody else can be another one. Yes, ma'am.
Hydrosphere for the water.
Hydrosphere for the water. Okay. All right. Sir. Biosphere for the living, yeah, the human. Okay. I'll put it right below those two. And last. Yes, sir.
Geosphere for the land.
Geosphere for the land. Okay, great. Geosphere for the land. Everybody agree? Okay. All right, I disagree. I'm gonna say I disagree. I don't think that although, yeah, I'm sure that that's correct, but you know what? I'm gonna put that up here. Can I do that? Yes, I can. There's an interaction there. What is that interaction? What is the interaction going on up here? Yes, Ava.
When there's water like stuff, and it goes into air, and it's like humidity or something, and it goes inside, and that's how it starts raining. So it accumulates until like a lot, and then it starts raining.
It forms clouds. So in there's the atmosphere, but there is also water vapor that has formed into clouds. Great, and I put the geosphere here, but I could also put the geosphere back there for the mountains. Okay, so there's a lot of interactions going, and if you look off in the distance, you'll notice there is a glacier and there is a glacier, and those glaciers are where what two spheres are acting together? A glacier. A glacier is made of what? Ice. Which sphere? Cryosphere, or the larger one, hydrosphere. And as gravity pulls it, the ice slowly grinds across something and grinding it up as it heads out towards this bay of water. What is it interacting as it grinds going downhill? What is it interacting with? Say it. Go ahead. The geosphere. Why? And if you look at the landform around there, as the glaciers go down, they grind up that ice grinds up the rock and the soil, and it makes a canyon, usually around a canyon. If you go up to the country of Norway, if you ever get a chance to go over to Europe, and you'll see that they have these giant fjords. They're these long inlets of water from the sea that go in. They were formed by glaciers. And the glaciers melted and the water level came up and it formed these long inlets of water, but they were formed by glaciers and they're called fjords. Spelled rather interesting, F-J-O-R-D, fjord. It's a fjord. It's a fun word to say, and they're beautiful if ever you get a chance to see them. So now I'm going to read something to you, and I want somebody to tell me which sphere they go into. Number one. This sphere is made up of the parts of the earth where life exists. It includes living organisms in many biomes on Earth. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Biosphere, yes. Living stuff. Biosphere. Excellent. This one. This sphere includes all the water on the Earth's surface, such as ocean, lakes, rivers. It also includes the waters in the air and under the ground. Yes, ma'am. Hydrosphere, fantastic. Yes, the water. Hydrosphere. All right. Next. This sphere includes all gases surrounding the planet. It's composed of about 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% other gases. Alexander,
The atmosphere.
the atmosphere, absolutely, atmosphere. Okay, good, we're getting there. And finally, this sphere is the Earth itself. It includes all non-living soil, rocks, and minerals that make up the land on Earth. Lex. The geosphere. Very good. Very good. Now we are able to identify these different spheres. Very good. Very good. Now let's look at an interaction. So we're going to take these pictures and we're going to put them into the sphere where they belong. So I'm going to grab this one first. All right. Looks like some clouds and everything. I'm going to put it over here. So what are we going to do with, and I can do this. I think I can. Nope, it's not going to let me pull one. There we go. Now you can see it better. All right. What sphere do I put this in? Yes, ma'am. In the back. Atmosphere. Okay. So I'm going to make it smaller again. So it'll. I believe that's mine. Don't worry about it. There's atmosphere. Okay. Excellent. Atmosphere. There we go. Atmosphere. All right. How about this one? Looks like a beach. All right. What are we going to put that? Sir? Hydrosphere. Yep, there's the water at the beach. I love it. Hydrosphere. Let's put this one over to hydrosphere. Okay. How about this one? Stone wall. Stones. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry? Geosphere. Yes, geosphere. Very good. All right. Let's go over to this. Let's go over to this one right here. Looks like an iceberg floating in the water. Okay, iceberg floating in the water. Derek.
Hydrosphere?
Hydrosphere. And the frozen part of the hydrosphere is called what? Do you remember? Somebody help him out. What's it called? Somebody call it out. What is it called? The cryosphere. The cryosphere. Yes. All right. Oh, here's some. Looks like some bushes or plants or something like that. Yes, sir.
What is the geosphere?
Geosphere, absolutely, the geosphere. No, not geosphere. I'm sitting here. What would you put plants in? Somebody help him out. Bio. Remember, bio is all living. Plants are living things. We're going to put it here in the biosphere. That should be up here in the hydrosphere. I put it down in the biosphere. Oh, I found another one of these. I've seen one of these before in this. Okay, where would we put this? Atmosphere. Okay, you know we already put one down in atmosphere. I think I'm going to just throw that one over here. Can I do that? It's the air, right? But what does it have in it? I could have put this one too. It has clouds, has water vapor. So it could be in both, right? It interacts in both. How about this one? This looks like dirt. Dirt. Sir. Geosphere, absolutely. And how about this one? Whoop. I want to make him big. I like sea turtles. Got a chance to swim with some over in Hawaii. Somebody hasn't gone. Ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Foley's biosphere.
Biosphere. But when I put this one in, when I put this down on the board, you know where I'm going to put it? I'm going to put it right there. Because there is an example of something interacting with two spheres. You have a turtle, a sea tortoise or sea turtle. and he is swimming in the ocean. So in that you have the hydrosphere for water and the biosphere for living things, right? So that is where I would put it, right on that cusp. This one could be either hydrosphere or atmosphere. Okay, this one, you see water, but under it you see sand. It could be geosphere under there, right? That's where it interacts. In this one, you actually have the sky, you have water, you have ice. Could be atmosphere because it's in the picture. So now let's look at how they interact as far as the water cycle. Now, what is the big, where do we get most of our heat here on planet? Where do we get most of our heat? Go. The sun. That's the biggest source of heat. In the sun, the rays hit the earth and it warms up the earth. And when it hits the water, it warms up the water. What happens to the water?
Water.
It evaporates. Okay, so now you have water vapor going up into the air. Now it's going up into the atmosphere. So now we have water vapor going up into the atmosphere. And with going in the atmosphere, as it gets higher and higher, it starts to cool down. When it cools down, it condenses. Has anybody ever got a nice ice cold can of soda and put it on the table, and about a minute later you go to pick it up and it's wet? Okay, well, that's the cool air causing the water vapor to condense down into water droplets. But what happens is, as it gets higher, it condenses and forms water droplets, and then when they get heavy enough, they're going to fall down and come out of the sky down to the earth. If it gets real cold, it'll come down as snow. So you have the clouds, you have water coming down, you have the snow on the mountains. It will start to melt, or the water is coming down, and as it comes downhill, it's going to slightly erode the geosphere, erode the dirt and the soil that is up on the slopes of hills and stuff. It could also be the glacier where it grinds it down, and then that water is used by plants to grow. Well, now you're talking the biosphere. So you see, it's all interactive. It all interacts together. So what interactions can you think of? I would like somebody to give me an interaction where the geosphere and biosphere interact. Geosphere and biosphere interact. Yes, ma'am. Okay, and how is that interaction? It's living and what? Yeah, it needs the soil. It needs the nutrients from the soil. So you have the geosphere, you have grass there. How about the atmosphere and biosphere? Go ahead. Right. I'm a living thing, I'm part of the biosphere, and I need oxygen to breathe, and I get that from the atmosphere. How about the hydrosphere and biosphere? Go ahead, ma'am.
Animals are swimming.
Okay, swimming. Give me another example of that, something very important. Sir. Yeah, our blood in our body is, there's a lot of water in it, yes, but how do they interact? Drinking water. Now, when let's say you were stranded and you have no food and no water, okay, no food and no water, what would kill you first? It's kind of a morbid subject, but what would you die? What would you die of? Hunger or dehydration? Go ahead. Dehydration. There's only so much water in your body, and your body is going to use that up. Whenever you breathe, every time you breathe out, you're losing water vapor. When you sweat, you're losing water vapor. So you start to lose water, you have to replenish that. Your body has fat stored up in it, and your body will eventually take that fat and turn it into energy. So you can live off your body fat, but you need water. If you don't, you'll die of dehydration. It's very, very critical to stay hydrated. If you start losing water and you become dehydrated, it can damage your organs, because your organs starts to draw the moisture from your organs and they don't function properly. Your brain will not function properly. So you need to make sure you have water. How about atmosphere and geosphere? Real quick, atmosphere and geosphere. This one was a tough one. Okay. mountains. A mountain is there and the wind is coming up from in the atmosphere, and when it reaches the mountain, it throws it upwards, and as it goes upwards, it cools. And it causes a lower in temperature, and if there's water vapor in that, what happens? As the temperature goes down, the clouds form and the water comes down. So they interact very big. Atmosphere and hydrosphere, that's the water cycle. Yeah, water vapor going up from evaporation. And then hydrosphere and geosphere. Look at the erosion at the ocean on cliffs. It will go up against this shore and erode. And also look at the Grand Canyon. You know, the Grand Canyon was once flat. It was just flat land, and there was a stream, and then became a river that was meandering across the desert, Colorado River. And as it was going, it would start to grind and erode levels of the earth, and it started getting deeper and deeper until you have this Grand Canyon, billions of years in the making. But it started off as just flat land. All right, what interactions do you see? So somebody tell me an interaction that you see. First off, let's label these things. Biosphere. Somebody tell me where to put it. Yes, ma'am.
An animal.
The kitties. Got mama and the babies. There's the kitties. Okay. What else could we put that on? What else? The grass, the trees, you know, anything living. Okay. The geosphere. Geosphere is what? Yes, ma'am. All right, ground in the dirt right there. Okay. Hydrosphere. Hydrosphere. Yes, sir. No? Somebody see it? Yes. The water that the water that the little kitten is drinking. Look at the little kitty. You just want to get it, go up and give it loving. I'm sure he'd love it, or she would love it. And last, the atmosphere. Atmosphere is all around. Okay, so how are these interacting? Well, you have the hydrosphere and the biosphere. Okay, so the lion's drinking water. There's an interaction. The lion's breathing air. There's the interaction. The water eroded a little bit of the ground. There's an interaction. Okay, all of these interactions that are going on all over the place. And last but not least, when you look at these interactions, I want you to look at this formation right here. Does anyone know what that is called? Where that body of water is right here. Does anyone know what this is called? Think of a volcano. The National Park Yellowstone is a giant volcano, and it is based in an ancient caldera. A caldera is you have the volcano, and you get the magma coming up, and it turns into lava, and it's that open area inside the cone. Well, this right here is a collapsed caldera, and you can tell because you see how it's rounded there, and there's shapes that are rounded around the outside. Those were openings where the lava came up, and then it collapsed and it formed a lake. This is a caldera. So this is an interaction of the water working with eroding the caldera. You have clouds up in the atmosphere. You have the green all around this fresh water. I mean, this is a big example of interactions. So plants release oxygen into the air. Somebody give me the two spheres that are being influenced from this. Shamsa.
Yeah.
You got half of it. Biosphere and the atmosphere. Yes, because the plants release oxygen into the air. Review, something you should know. What's that process called? When it releases oxygen in the air, what is the process that a plant does to do it? Photosynthesis, yes. Okay, it takes in CO2, sunlight, and water, and it converts it into simple sugars for the plant to grow and gives us oxygen as a byproduct. Animals live at the bottom of the ocean. What do we have? Ma'am. Biosphere and hydrosphere. Very good. Strong winds cause waves in the ocean. Yes, ma'am. Atmosphere and hydrosphere. Very good. You guys, you're doing great. Plants use their roots to anchor to the soil. Yes, ma'am. Biosphere and geosphere. Now I'm gonna take a guess without even looking at the board. I think it'll be biosphere and geosphere. What do you think? Do you think I'll be right? Animals use caves as shelters. Yep. Wonder how I knew that. That is just. Might have been just fact that that was all that was left, but yes, animals use caves as shelters. Humans, the first humans used caves as shelters. We didn't know how to build houses back then. Importance of four spheres. In your own words, you describe each of the four spheres and their importance to life on Earth. Why is the hydrosphere important? Somebody give me an example. Give me an example. Go. Water for. Okay, give me another example. Why is the hydrosphere so important?
So like for the biosphere and the plants and we want the hydro.
Okay. And also it stores heat. Water, very good, storage medium for heat, and it will affect the weather and it will help the atmosphere cause winds and stuff like that. How about the biosphere? Why is biosphere important? Why is the biosphere important? This should be a no-brainer. Go ahead.
I didn't talk to you.
Well, yes, the plants, but the biosphere is important because that's where life is. What's the biosphere on the moon? There is none. There's nothing living up there. What's the biosphere on Venus? As far as we can tell, there isn't one. Okay, so that's a living thing. The importance of the geosphere. You know what the biggest importance of the geosphere is? Gravity. The geosphere. The mass of the planet causes gravity and holds us down to the ground. All right, and then last, the atmosphere. The atmosphere holds all the gases, in especially the real important one, and that being oxygen. Okay. So now, you may be wondering about the envelopes that are on your desk. I would like you to open up these envelopes, and with your group, you already know who your groups are. You are going to pull out the 6 large cards, put them across your desk. There's 6 of them, so go ahead and place them next to each other all the way across your desk. You can put it here, 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 here. Okay. Okay, so if you look, so we have 6 cards here set up across there, all the way across the desk. Now what I want you to do is you're going to pull out the cards and I want you to put them face down and I want you to kind of mix them up. Kind of mix them up in any order. And if you have them face down. Okay. Okay, and it doesn't have to be a neat stack. You can just have them all just jumbled in the middle. The person on the right. The person on the right. So Alexander, you're gonna move over, you're gonna be working with them. The person on the right, that side, is going to go first. So take a card, read it to your partners, and then you decide where you think it's going to be. Don't take too long, there's like 30 cards of this, but you're going to do the best you can. Pick which one of these interactions you think it'll go with. And then the other two will say, yep, that looks good. I agree. Well, wouldn't it? I don't know. And then, if not, come to a consensus, just like we do in math when we have to do our consensus agreement. Okay? So, begin sorting.
More water they put in the air, temperatures are higher. I don't know. Water. I don't think, yeah.
So next person in the middle, or we're working right to left, and then you go back and you take a turn. So once that first one goes, then the second one goes. Okay, and you wanna put this. Okay, read out loud to your partners what is.
I think the word geosphere,
You got one,
that,
so you go.
I just keep in, has to be, I can take your
Read it out loud to your partners.
Has to be, where you think it is. Geosphere. Oh, because that's the part. Oh, my bad. Water. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's an ocean. Yeah, but it's bomb. No, ocean is like water. And water is like a high.
So I'm looking at people looking at all six. If I look here and I said some whales, up whale. That's living, right? So it's got to be biosphere. So right now, biosphere and hydrosphere, it can't be the geosphere and hydrosphere because that's not bio. Here's bio and geo. Here's atmosphere and bio. So 1, 2, and 3. It has to be one of those three because of biosphere. Then you read the rest. Some whales have damaged skin caused by sunburn. They get sunburned when too much harmful sunlight passes through a hole in the ozone layer. Ozone layer. That's up in the where? The atmosphere. So it would be biosphere, atmosphere. All right. Go ahead and continue. Keep going. Keep going. Good job. Okay, so into the air, so you know that that's going to have to do with what sphere? Okay, atmosphere. So it could be that one, it could be this one, or it could be this one. It can't be those because that atmosphere is there. What's the rest of it? A source of air pollution comes from cows. Cow is what? What sphere is a cow buddy? Biosphere. Okay, so we got atmosphere and biosphere. See how it goes? That's what you have the two spheres. All right, I'll continue.
The air.
Yes, keep the blank ones there. There's a reason they're blank.
Oh. Any car.
They release water into the air after mass. No, it's mass. The air.
Air is so.
The atmosphere air and
Atmosphere.
some will die so I mean geosphere just I chose to put it
So as we are doing this, think about how you interact with these spheres, because remember, your exit ticket mentions geosphere. It says how do you interact with the geosphere. Fjord. And fjord is spelled Fjord.
So the air. It says here. Yeah, here is early and then. Yeah. This. You can. The air is so cold in the winter that it burns so big. Yes. Five star. Or if you can have. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hey, guys. That's under this one.
Yeah. Yeah. So much.
Good job, good job, keep going.
Water.
So,
Water. Different temperature. Ocean with like any have.
Wait, the ocean is in the hydrotherapy. Okay, the hydro, how is it the geosphere, honey?
Climate is what?
Shellfish or?
Climate is the weather.
Or like,
Weather is anything. All right,
oh
so
yeah, never mind. I thought it was like in the water.
ocean, which is
Wait, shellfish.
atmosphere, that's the thing over there. Now,
If they're animals.
this is very special part because this one could be
Hydro.
one of three.
Yes.
If you look at it, plants, biosphere, release water, biosphere, into the air, atmosphere. It could be here, atmosphere, biosphere, or it could be hydrosphere, biosphere. Biosphere, hydrosphere could be this one or this one, because it mentions all three.
They begin to convey.
Remember, you are to answer it, then your partners will look at it.
Is like the high cost in the atmosphere. And rock or the atmosphere. Oh, so shellfish and biosphere.
Yeah, biosphere. Oh, yeah, me too.
I can want to.
Okay, hurricanes form, warming ocean water, evaporates very quickly. Okay, class. We're going to finish up here in a few minutes. When we are done, make sure that you fill out your exit ticket and then you'll be handing that in as you leave the classroom, okay? So continue for a few more minutes and then we will clean up. Remember that all of these sort questions are possible to be on your exam and your test. I would say something like, listen up, I would say something like, which two spheres does this card interact with? Hawks like to glide along on air currents as they hunt for food. So you would look at that. Or I may say, which three spheres does this card interact with? Let me have the one with the three spheres. Remember the, oh yeah, right here. There's one here that could be one of three different things. Plants release water. Plants release water into the air. What three spheres am I talking about? Plants are what sphere? Bio. Release water. What sphere? Into the air. What sphere? So it could be it could be three. So it could be biohydro, bioatmo. Either way. Okay.